A serious crash in Fayette County sending at least one person to the hospital. Coming up, the collision tying up traffic for hours this morning. Plus, saved from the brink of closure. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette continuing to cover Western Pennsylvania under new leadership. What this means for the journalists working there. And the Penguins, Pirates, and Steelers teaming up off the field and off the rink in an effort to fight hunger across the region. We'll tell you about the new challenge that you can get in on as well.
Pittsburgh's Action News 4 at noon starts now.
Thanks so much for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Lily Coleman. We have a lot to get to this afternoon, and we begin with at least one local school district falling victim to a national hoax today. The Upper St. Clair district telling families that officials were notified about a general threat to the district. Now, working with local and federal law enforcement, they determined that that threat was a hoax. But while investigating, the schools were placed in a secure the school campus status. So students and staff were safe and classes went on as normal. We have more information on that story on our website at WTAE.com. Meanwhile, major developments in the war with Iran. Today, the Trump administration says the U.S. military is operating in the Persian Gulf with 2 Navy destroyers moving through the Strait of Hormuz. The White House says this is all a part of a greater effort to help ships get traffic through the critical waterway. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest from Washington.
As the war with Iran enters its 3rd month, today 2 U.S. Navy warships are in the Persian Gulf, crossing through the critical Strait of Hormuz. The Pentagon says the ships are providing a defensive shield against potential sea mines, coordinating with vessels that have otherwise been stuck near the strait for weeks. It's part of what the administration has dubbed Project Freedom. President Trump on social media writes, quote, "We will guide their ships safely out of these restricted waterways so that they can freely and ably get on with their business."
It's really going to come down to whether these captains, crew, ship owner, and probably most importantly, the insurers believe that these ships can get through without being attacked. If that's not the case, then it doesn't matter what project the U.S. announced. They have to have the confidence they can get through there.
Iran calls Trump's effort delusional and previously vowed to attack U.S. forces if they attempt to approach or interfere in the Strait of Hormuz. The Pentagon today denies a claim from Iranian state media that its Revolutionary Guard hit a U.S. warship with 2 missiles. U.S. Central Command posted no U.S. Navy ships have been struck. Negotiations to end the war have not yet produced a deal beyond the current fragile ceasefire. Trump says U.S. representatives are having positive discussions with Iran, but then later said Iran's latest proposal is not acceptable.
Here at home, oil prices have fluctuated over the past 2 months, with the average cost of a gallon of regular now up $1.49 compared to when the war began, according to Gas Buddy. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Closer to home, a bad crash in Fayette County causing big traffic delays this morning. I brought you this as breaking news during Pittsburgh's Action Traffic. Sky 4, Pittsburgh's only news chopper, giving us a look at that collision along Route 119 in Bolskin Township. Now, at one point, all northbound lanes between Pleasant Valley Road and State Route 1025 were shut down. We know that one person had to be flown to the hospital. State police are investigating. No word on that person's condition or the cause of the crash. Meanwhile, one person had to be rushed to the hospital from this scene of a crash in Hazelwood. This one happened just before midnight at 2nd Avenue and Mansion Street. You can see damage to the front end of a car that was eventually being towed away there. The car appears to have run into a utility pole. Now, our crew on scene found wires down as well as an electrical box from the pole on the ground as well. No word on what that caused that crash, but again, the investigation in this situation ongoing as well. Turning now to a check at Pittsburgh's Action weather on this Monday. After a cold weekend, temperatures are expected to get back into the 70s, which is some great news. But some of us could end up seeing a little bit of rain. Meteorologist Brian Hutton Jr. is here with a look at our certified most accurate forecast on this new week.
Yeah, and after a very cold weekend, especially on Saturday, we are heading in the right direction, but it is a brief warm up for us. It's really today and tomorrow. And as we do warm up, we are watching a shower chance as well. Tomorrow, there's a chance of seeing a few raindrops, one chance in the morning, a second chance later in the day. That's the better one. Wednesday is an impact day as widespread rain returns to western Pennsylvania. And that knocks us again cooler into your Mother's Day weekend, but not as cool as we were this weekend, where it was just downright freezing. We're in the 60s across across the board in western Pennsylvania. So far, this is the warmest we have been this month. Not saying a lot considering our normal high is closer to 70 degrees. We should get there today. Expecting 72 in Pittsburgh, 75 for us tomorrow. We'll watch for the best shower chance late. Then Wednesday is an impact day as rain showers will roll in and be with us during the morning commute and then back off to more scattered variety showers as we head through the rest of the day. But rain will be around through the day and that lingers in the Thursday. We'll time all that out for you, Futurecast, and take a look at your Mother's Day weekend forecast as well. That's ahead with your complete 4-day plus 4 more.
All right, Brian, thank you. This afternoon, police are asking for your help in finding a missing 14-year-old girl out of Whitehall. Riley Anderson was last seen near Curry Road Sunday morning. This is a photo of her. Police believe she may be at risk of harm or injury. If you see her or if you know anything, you are asked to give police a call. Turning back to Pittsburgh's action traffic now, overnight lane restrictions along the Parkway East were set to start tonight, but they've been postponed. PennDOT has not announced when the work will happen instead. Now, when that work does begin, we'll see overnight restrictions between the Squirrel Hill Tunnel and the Edgewood-Swissvale interchange. This will be for median barrier reconstruction and CCTV installation work, all a part of the Commercial Street Bridge replacement project. We, of course, will keep you updated as we learn more about a potential new date. 5 afternoon is our time, a day after what was supposed to be the final edition of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. The long-standing paper is now under new ownership. Pittsburgh's Action News 4 reporter Ava Rash covering Allegheny County from the North Shore with what the changes mean for employees and readers.
It's a new era for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. It was supposed to close down, but it's now under new leadership starting today. Despite this, we are seeing significant cuts to staff.
This is a devastating blow. I don't think there's any bones about it, but we're going to continue to fight.
It's official. Ventulis has taken over the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette from Block Communications. The nonprofit bought the paper back in April. This comes after a multi-year strike from some employees and Block announcing it was shutting the paper down. Current employees started getting offer letters Wednesday night and rejection letters Thursday.
They went this route of not only drastic job cuts overall, but also cutting a lot of the union activists who were a part of the strike.
The Newspaper Guild of Pittsburgh says the nonprofit cut at least 40% of the Post-Gazette staff and 80% of former strikers. The president of the Guild, Andrew Goldstein, says there were 25 strikers who came back in November and only 5 were hired.
We are seeing what we believe is discriminatory practices in this hiring process, while we are seeing just very disappointing cuts overall.
He says they're going to continue to fight for their rights.
We are going to work very hard to make sure that Pittsburgh continues to have quality news coverage and that our union members are able to have quality jobs and good working conditions.
Pittsburgh's Action News 4 reached out to Ventulis but did not hear back. The Newspaper Guild says that they are considering some legal action. For now, covering Allegheny County on the North Shore, Ava Rash, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
Ava, thank you. The fallout continues as passengers left stranded and thousands of employees now without work over the weekend after Spirit Airlines abruptly stopped service Saturday morning. Other airlines now capping ticket prices to help stranded travelers get home. Spirit says it will give refunds to customers who booked with a debit or credit card. Meantime, at Arnold Palmer Regional Airport in Latrobe, Spirit was the only airline offering service. The director of the airport authority tells us that they are in talks with other carriers to bring service back to the airport. Well, Pittsburgh's 3 major sports teams giving back to the community that supports them through thick and thin. New at noon, Pittsburgh's Action News 4 reporter Carlos Flores showing us how the Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates are working to fight hunger throughout the region.
It's an opportunity to get active and give back to an organization that are helping people in need. The Berg Proud Challenge is soon about to start. It's a collaboration across Pittsburgh sports teams, all to fight hunger.
This is really what Pittsburgh is all about. Pittsburghers helping Pittsburghers.
The Berg Proud Challenge will work to raise money for the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank.
With the cost of groceries, gasoline, rent, everything is challenging. All these essential household goods are challenging our neighbors to pay for them every month. And they just can't do it, especially the seniors and families with children.
You register through GoFundMe and then create a campaign. The challenge will ask people to walk or run 30 miles in 30 days and raise money in the process. And for every dollar raised, the Richard King Mellon Foundation will match up to $1 million.
Knowing that all those dollars flow back to the food bank to support the community and people that are in need of support at this time of great food insecurity.
Participants who raise $25 will get a Berg Proud t-shirt. If you raise more than $2,500, you'll get access to one of 3 experiences. They are 2 tickets and an on-field batting practice with the Pittsburgh Pirates, a behind-the-scenes tour of Acrisure Stadium with the Pittsburgh Steelers, or a VIP practice experience with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The food bank can't solve it alone, so it really requires partners like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates, RK Mellon, and GoFundMe to join together to solve hunger.
Registration is already open, with the challenge officially kicking off on June 1st. But for now, covering Allegheny County from inside PNC Park, Carlos Flores, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
Carlos, thank you. We are just over 2 weeks away from the May 2026 primary elections on May 19th, and today at 5 p.m. is actually the deadline to register if you want to vote. So here's what you need to do to register. You must be a citizen of the U.S. for at least 1 year before this upcoming primary. You must also be a resident of Pennsylvania a month prior. You also must be at least 18 years old. Now, Pennsylvania has a closed primary, so only registered Republicans and Democrats can vote. 10 afternoon is our time. Another major event has come and gone here in the Steel City. The Dick's Sporting Goods Pittsburgh Marathon capped off a record-breaking weekend. What a weekend it was. 52,000 runners participated in events over Saturday and Sunday. Pittsburgh's Action News 4 brought you non-stop coverage from the moment runners lined up, then through the lens of Drone 4, giving us amazing views of runners crossing the 16th Street Bridge, through city neighborhoods, and of course then to the finish line. I actually had the privilege to catch up with the men's marathon winner, who is a Pittsburgher.
All those stroller miles, I mean, did it for all the Pittsburgh dads, and yeah, it's just the dad strength actually kicked in that last quarter mile.
That is Will Lovner. He used to volunteer at the Pittsburgh Marathon in high school. Now he's won it. His wife and his son were waiting for him at the finish line there to celebrate. And of course, some runners were looking for a personal record time. Others ran for a different reason.
So we always run Pittsburgh. We're Pittsburgh natives. And for my 30th half marathon, I want to do something special. So we wanted to join the charity team of the WTAE Foundation. And my dad being a double amputee, I thought it would be awesome to push him, take the challenge, and make it across the finish line as a team.
Her dad, Ron, there smiling the entire time. He had one of the best weekends of his life. Those are just some of the amazing stories from Marathon Weekend. If you want to relive your finishing moment you raced and you want to see it back, we can help. Head to WTAE.com and click on Find Your Finish. The clips are organized by time of day. So just find your finish time and it'll all be right there for you on our homepage.